Yo, what's up guys, it's Comchick here, back at it again with another totally legit speedrun. No, but today's video is going to be talking about Left 4 Dead solo survival, and I've talked in previous videos before about how I do this stuff, and it's pretty cool. So essentially, it's basically where you get into survival, but you kick the bots, so it's just you in the game. And now it might sound fairly simple, being like, okay, well, you know, it's just survival, except it's just you. Yeah, except it's not that simple. Because here's the thing, dude, you're playing the game specifically opposite to the way that it was designed. Because look, like when you play like a normal campaign playthrough with like, you know, like solo queue players or bots or whatever, you play very defensively and you have to be careful with what you do, and you know, you have to stick together. It's a team-based game. It literally is like the antithesis of team-based gameplay, right? So then when you go and just decide to fucking kick the bots and just make it just yourself, like at that point, you actually have to change the way that you play the game. Because all of a sudden, Left 4 Dead stops being a team-based game and it starts being more of like a Team Fortress 2 style movement shooter. Because here's the thing, dude, in solo survival, the common infecteds are your '1 enemy. And that's obviously because they slow you the fuck down. Which is why pretty much every survival map has a plethora of grenades that you can use. Molotovs, boomer bile, pipe bombs, all of that shit, right? And I think that most people would agree that when it comes to fighting the tank, the Molotov is your #1 weapon, right? But the thing is, it's really easy to say that when you have teammates. So when you're doing this shit completely solo, the game is not catering towards you. The game is catering towards the 3 other people that are supposed to be with you. So obviously, you're not just fighting the tank, you're also fighting the special infected and all the fucking commons that are rushing you all at the same time. And so my solution to this was dealing damage to the tank over a duration of time without actually doing it directly, and basically just letting the commons do all the work. And now one of the biggest pieces of advice when it comes to doing this shit is keeping as far distance from the common infected as you possibly can. Because when you're playing campaign, right, they're not really that much of a threat to you unless, you know, all of your teammates are going down or everybody's really low health, right? But when you're in solo survival, the common infected are a fucking nightmare, right? You really got to get creative with how you know, figure out ways to stop them. Because like, for instance, unlike Call of Duty Zombies, the fucking infected run faster than you. Okay, and now when it comes to dealing with the special infected, there's a really particular way that I do this, right? Because most of the special infected are not that much of a challenge for me, right? Hunter, super easy, right? It's loud, aggressive, you can see it flying through the air, you can just shove it back super easily. Done. That's it, right? Boomers, spitters, they're just support, right? Not that much of an issue. The jockey, however, I have my opinions about the jockey, but I literally hate this fucking guy. Like, he just makes me so angry, dude. Because again, it comes back to that whole thing where the game is not catering towards you specifically, right? It's not a solo-based game, right? So when the jockey shows up, it's probably one of the quietest special infected out of the group. And the reason that's important is because it's not like in campaign where there's downtime, right? In survival, it is a constant push. There's a constant influx of common infected, there's a constant influx of specials. You have to be on the move 24/7, no fucking breaks. So, I mean, it's easy in campaign when you could just hear a jockey in the midst of, like, I don't know, 5 fucking infected, right? But when you're fighting a constant horde in survival solo, it becomes 10 billion times more difficult, mainly because not only does the sound of the horde completely drown out that of the jockey, but on top of that, the jockey is so small, the little dude can just fucking, he can just hide around and run around in the fucking horde. You would never see him, dude. And I mean, bro, sometimes it's so bad that genuinely the fucking jockey just literally comes out of nowhere and just fucks you. Just literally, I'm not even talking metaphorically fucking you, like literally sticking his cock in your fucking booty hole, bro. I'm not even joking. This is not fucking exaggerated. I mean, you just watched it in the background footage, dude. Look, watch this shit. Replay that shit. Play it back.
No, dude! You see what I mean? Just fucking snuck out of nowhere. There was literally no way for me to anticipate that.
Yeah, do you remember when I said the common infected were the #1 enemy in solo survival? I lied. And now, realistically speaking, I can make the entire rest of this video just about the jockey, but I also could just make a whole video titled The Jockey Rant. However, dude, one of my favorite things about solo survival is the quick thinking aspect of it, because a lot of what goes into having a successful run really has a lot to do with the map that you're playing on. Because look, there's 2 main different types of survival maps that you play on. There's maps like Forage, which is the one that I'm playing on right now, that are more like centered around one specific area that's really wide open for you to run around in. But then there's the other type of map, like Looney Park, that is very much structured and has different pathways for you to take. So you have to be super careful when playing on maps like Looney Park. See, now look, I know people are going to go into the comments and be like, dude, you're not really that great at survival. And I don't claim to be that great at survival, okay? Get off my fucking back, dude. Because it really depends on two things: the map that you play on and your play style. Because if you're playing in a very calculated type of fashion where you set up before each and every single time you play, you will 100% last a lot longer. But in my personal opinion, being that I'm somebody who is just ADHD fueled to the fucking brim, I do not have the patience. So I tend to play in a much more full send, all out, right off the fucking bat type of playstyle. And now this is something I call reflex survival, referring to the fact that you're not just looking out for special infected as well as the commons and tanks, but on top of that, you are looking all over the place for fucking Molotovs, boomer biles, and pipe bombs, all of it. And now look, there's negatives and positives to playing this way, but obviously I think the biggest negative is the fact that you won't last as long, or like at the very least you're less likely to last as long. But I think the full satisfaction from me playing in this way, I think definitely comes from the fact that you are having to think quickly and you are having to improvise almost 90% of the time. And so I only really dedicate that remaining 10% to actually setting up and doing anything calculated. Now for me, I like the fast-paced nature of it, you know, just being able to jump right back into it after dying beforehand. But I also like the fact that it makes my reflexes better and it allows me to become a more intelligent player. And look, I know like the meta with solo survival is like 30 fucking minutes or whatever, but it's like, dude, first of all, that shit sounds exhausting, and second of all, I really don't have that kind of fucking time. So I mean, yeah, it's just the fact that, you know, the whole meta is that you have to last over 10 minutes and all this shit, but it's like they all play the same way. I don't play like that, you know, like you gotta understand that I just do this shit as nuts to butts full send as I can because I don't want to lose my momentum. No, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope if you took anything from it, it's that, you know, you don't really need to survive 30 fucking minutes or 5 hours in order to be considered good at solo survival. It really depends on how you play it, you know? So if you're setting up before each and every single game, you know, you have that security there knowing that, okay, there's going to be a pipe bomb right here. There's going to be this right here. But it's like when you're doing reflex survival, it's a lot different. So I have a lot of respect for people that do, you know, the more calculated and traditional play style. But if you are playing reflex survival, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a lot more respect for you, to be fully honest. But no, anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you want to see more commentaries relating towards like reflex survival or just solo survival in general, I hope you guys, you know, just leave that shit in the comments. I'll, you know, definitely pay attention to that. Leave a like as well. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.